This is a summary for Great Gatsby, Chapter 3 with Mrs. Geimer for ENL. Gatsby has become very famous and well-known, but people don't really know who he is exactly. They just know he throws these big parties at his giant mansion on West Egg, where the new money people are living. Nick one day gets an invitation to one of these parties, and he decides he's going to go and check it out. While he's there, he listens to people talk, and nobody seems to know the truth about Gatsby or how he made his money. While he's there, Nick runs into Jordan Baker, who Tom and Daisy have asked him to date. At Gatsby's party, it's very luxurious. Everything's crazy. There's symphonies and swimming pools and all kinds of food and all kinds of liquor, and it's during Prohibition, so that would have been really expensive. Nick and Jordan are walking around, and they're just curious about Gatsby, their host, so they decide to go around the house and see if they can go find him. Instead, while they're walking around the house, they found some guy with wearing glasses, and it sounds like and they call him Owl Eyes, or the Owl-Eyed Man. And that could be a symbol that would remind us of that billboard with the eyeglasses on it. They find him in the library, and they have a weird conversation with him. And then Nick looks really familiar when he goes out and back into the party. He meets a guy, and Nick looks familiar to this guy, and the guy ends up introducing himself as Gatsby. And Gatsby's really strange, and he has a really good way of speaking. He calls everybody old sport, which is really strange. And they observe some things about him. They keep talking about things. And then later on in the night, the butler tells Jordan that Gatsby would like to see her and talk to her about something. We'll figure out what that is in the next chapter. You don't find that out yet. As Nick decides he wants to leave the party because Jordan left and Gatsby went to go take care of business. So as he's leaving the party, the guy that he saw in the library, the owl-eyed guy who had the eyeglasses, he's struggling to get out his car out of a ditch. And it looks like him and another guy climb out of the car, and they're really drunk, and the whole thing is very strange. Basically, that is an instance of foreshadowing, because later in the book, someone is going to get hit by a car, and they're going to confuse who the driver was. So that's just foreshadowing for you for that later event. And then later on, Nick decides he's going to follow the advice of Tom and Daisy. He's going to start seeing Jordan Baker. That is most of Chapter 3.